Next up is the light enduro, which is going to be very competitive. We also have Alex Brundle racing here. How are the drivers going to feel about that? All eyes though are going to be on Golding and Hackworth. Golding though, he's not feeling too good today. Will that affect his performance? Not surprisingly, in qualifying, Alex Brundle got pole. That's going to give our drivers a tantalising challenge. So, will the sports car driver run away with it, or will one of our regulars beat him?
Behind Brundle on pole, it was not the usual names filling up the first two rows of the grid. Expected championship contenders Golding and Hackworth were starting 6th and 8th respectively, and it was going to take a champion's drive to see them make it up to the sharp end. It was a good getaway for Brundle on his DMAX Champs debut. Further back, champion Hackworth made quick work of old rival Leslie into turn 2. Fourth, 5th, 6th and 7th fighting like a pack of piranhas flat out into turn 9. It's all high octane stuff as Hackworth, Golding and Noble come together like Newton's cradle round turn 11. Hackworth does them all down the pit straight, moving up 3 places in just 1 lap as Noble exceeds track limits and struggling to tame his DMAX through turn 1. Lap 4 and Baldwin is baiting Brundle for the lead. Brundle is brave and keeps his foot in with Conroy joining in the fight for good measure. Baldwin steals the lead while Brundle takes a nudge from Conroy and Hackworth comes from nowhere. Brundle is swamped into turn 4 and demoted to 3rd as Baldwin and Hackworth battle like titans. Baldwin is struggling to hold on to the lead and Brundle also within striking distance. Hackworth just on another level entirely as he blasts down the pit straight, taking Baldwin on the inside into turn 1. Hackworth 8th to 1st in just 6 laps. Brundle is under attack from Sibley into turn 5 and he moves ahead. Brundle though is having none of it and dices with Sibley and Conroy for 3rd place. Once again, the close performance of the DMAX kart providing plenty of close and competitive racing. 1 lap later, and Brundle shoots past Sibley and back into a podium position. By lap 10, Golding got past Sibley and they managed to avoid contact through the fast sweeping turn 6. Sibley picked his moment and drafts Golding down the back straight. Lap 29 and Sibley gets a great exit out of turn 8 and he thunders up the straight, giving Brundle a run for his money. Brundle comes back at him, but Sibley doesn't give up that easily. Brundle lost ground passing a back marker, allowing Conroy straight past. 4 laps later and Brundle had made up ground, drafted Conroy and back up to 4th. Leslie and Golding had been battling closely for 6th place, before the under-the-weather Golding made a textbook overtake on turn 1. While Tom Clark goes a little too wide. A most dominant win from Hackworth sees him start the season as he left off, with Sibley getting his season off to a cracking start with a well-earned 3rd place.
So, second loser, how does that feel? Thank Jake Butler for that.
Yeah, thank you, Jake. No, it was a good race actually. We were busy for the first half an hour fighting with Alex Brundle. We put up a good fight and then got through with about half an hour to go. But by then, 1st and 2nd were long gone. But I mean, credit to Daytona, they just had the engines rebuilt and they're spot on there.
So James, it's fantastic to see you back, and that was a real battle between you and Hackworth because you got ahead of him for about half to a full lap, didn't you?
Yeah, I got past him and Alex, had a good tussle with Alex which felt quite good because he's quite revered in the motorsport world. And then, yeah, Chris got me. He seemed to have a bit more out of the slow hairpins. I couldn't keep up with him enough to get, a charge on him. So, yeah, disappointed at the end of it. Second again. I always come second here. It's not good coming second. You've got to be first, otherwise you may as well not turn up.
So Chris, you're still up there. You're doing so well, which is not surprising. You were last year's champion and many years before. You qualified 8th position, and in about 3 laps, you climbed so many places. How did you do that?
Bit of experience with the damp conditions. I think Alex Brundle managed to get a quick lap in right on the last lap, but it was close.
What was it like racing against Alex Brundle?
Well, I've raced him before and that, so I know he's good. He's a good friend.
And did you beat him before when you raced against him, or did he beat you?
He beat me once. I beat him more.
Oh, okay. Well, this is a good battle. I like it. Well done. Nice to see you. Well, I'm here with Alex Brundle, who is very experienced in racing himself. You've done a lot of racing, a lot of different types of racing, and today you were racing in the DMAX. How was it?
It was good fun, really good fun. Just a bit of a tune-up for my year ahead, but I managed to take pole, which I was really surprised about just jumping into the series, because it's a really sharp little karting series now with a lot of competitors. And then in the race, things didn't go quite to plan. I got bumped back to 4th place, but I had some really good races at the front of the race over an hour period, and yeah, just couldn't quite hold on to the top spot. But yeah, great fun, and I'll be back.
It was incredibly exciting to watch. And why do you choose to race in the DMAX today?
As a racer driver, you've got to keep your hand in, and there's some, you've got to go and race somewhere, and there's very few places in the UK with the level of competition that there is here, where you really have to turn up and be on your game if you want to be at the front of the field. So that's why you see quite a lot of kind of pro drivers jumping in and guesting in DMAX. It's been a little while since I've been in a Rotax engine car, and it's nice to be back with a 2-stroke beside me.
Well, we love having you here, and we hope you come back soon.
I'd like to be back soon. I'd like it to be a bit warmer though. Can you sort that out?
I'd like it to be warmer. And our hair, our hair's getting messed up, isn't it?
We were talking about good sides and bad sides, but there we go. That's it.
It's fine. So that concludes the light enduro. Hackworth came out on top, and Golding suffered from an illness, so he didn't do too well. But they loved taking on the likes of Alex Brundle. Don't forget to book him for round 2 at Sandown Park. Go to www.daytonamax.co.uk or call this number.